Destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
As a Final Four, it is the 1 seed and the 3 seed in both conferences. The 1 seed, San Francisco, holds on. Baltimore wins. Kansas City gets one in Buffalo. And you got Detroit for the first time in, 33 years in the NFC Championship game. Good morning and Merry Monday. Boy, we got a lot to do for you today here on the opening drive on the Sports Animal. Jeff Sibbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. What's going on?
What it do?
How's the weekend?
Good weekend.
Yeah, good weekend for you.
Good weekend.
Yeah. Sit on your tuchus, watch a lot of football. You had a weekend.
You did.
I mean, JJ was in Vegas with the ladies who pulled off, I don't know, one of the biggest upsets. Is it ridiculous to say in college basketball this year?
Definitely over the weekend. They were like 22-point underdogs.
Okay.
In that game. UNLV had won 29 straight against Mountain West teams.
The Lobos beat them 69-66 on a Vienna Cumber shot with 3 seconds to go. Yeah. All right, we're going to get into that. Lobo men with big victory on the road and a big 85-66 at Air Force, taking care of things on the road. So we'll get into that as well. But what a weekend! And I think the biggest, well, it's hard to say the biggest one. It really depends on your perspective. If you're a Niner fan, you're kind of looking, well, ours was a big win. If you're a Packer fan, you're wondering how that one got away. But I think premier matchup was those two quarterbacks, those two teams last night. And the Chiefs beating the Bills in New York, 27-24. Patrick Mahomes, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen ran for 72 yards, 186 yards through the air. Dropped balls, missed field goals, missed opportunities. Chiefs win because, well, the Chiefs win this time of year, and that's what they do, and they're moving on. There's so many layers of this game, and I'm trying, gosh, I thought about it so much. There's no easy way for me just to say, here's the one thing. You can tell me that the Chiefs got away from the run in the last minute as they were trying to, or the last drive as they were trying to milk the clock. They missed a field goal. If they hit that field goal, Patrick Mahomes got, a minute and a half to come back with 2 timeouts. How do you feel about that? Yeah, they missed a field goal. They dropped balls. What was the story of that game to you?
I think it's what we've seen the last couple weeks with Kansas City that I did not see earlier in the season. And it was, they did not know who they were. They were still trying to be too fancy, force everything downfield. And then they realized that even with Patrick Mahomes, this version of Kansas City, they need to run the football. They're going to rely on their defense and realize that Patrick Mahomes will make some plays down the field. And that's exactly what we saw, is there were just enough explosive plays downfield. They got a little tricky once. McCall Hardman fumbled the football through the end zone.
Yep.
And that was that stretch of from the fake punt to that. So it kind of canceled each other out from Buffalo. The head scratch you move there. But they're embracing who they are. They know Isaiah Pacheco can win them games. They trust in their defense. And they made it hard because when we talk about this Buffalo Bills team and Josh Allen played a good game, but what he didn't do was make any plays downfield.
Yeah, you got to have guys catch the ball, don't you? He didn't make any plays downfield. He was really good to the tight ends, and he was really good with the running backs. He threw a couple deep balls. I don't know where you guys are on this, and we didn't discuss this in our pre-production meeting. When Stephon Diggs this year complains that he doesn't get the ball, can we stop listening to that? Catch the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Allen put balls where he should have caught one. I mean, I don't know how much better you want Josh Allen to throw the football. Sherfield needs to catch that football. Yeah, it would have been a good catch. I don't know, man. You're a pro receiver. Receive the damn ball. And he put the ball, and dudes drop balls. And look, he misses throws too, so it goes both ways. But when there's opportunities downfield, and that's what you're begging for in the offseason. And I heard someone, I was driving this morning, well, there's something with the relationship there. I don't know what it is with Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, but what does their relationship have to do with in a playoff game and a deep ball and the ball hits you in the hands and you don't catch it? Is that because you have a bad relationship with the quarterback? Catch the ball.
Yeah, and Kansas City, they were playing the high safety look all game long, so they were taking that away, and that's why everything was underneath. And Josh Allen was showcasing his athleticism, and it was a weekend where you see that it wasn't just all about having to win in the pocket, because that's not what Lamar Jackson did, that's not what Josh Allen did, but it's a credit to Kansas City because they didn't take those shots until the fourth quarter. And
when they did,
dropped them. You got to make those plays because we looked at Kansas City. They led the league in drops from the wide receivers. Valdez-Scantling had two big plays.
Two big plays. I mean, really big plays. A guy who dropped the ball a lot. The catch he made the first play of the third quarter, I thought was terrific. And what a great throw. I know it's all going to be on Josh Allen, and it's got to be because he's the quarterback and he's the only one who has a record. I didn't think he played poorly. In fact, I thought, he missed the one throw, which I hated the call on second down on the last drive where he went deep into the end zone. They score there. Mahomes gets the ball back with way too much time. I didn't love the call anyway, but he got hit and he made the throw and he he said, I just couldn't get enough on it. There's a lot of blame. Sherfield's got to catch it. Bass has to make a field goal. Stephon Diggs got to catch the football.
I didn't get any big plays from anyone on the perimeter.
Diggs receiving yesterday, 3 for 21. He was targeted 8 times. That is the second highest target rate from Josh Allen. Khalil Shakir, 7 catches on 9 targets. So the Chiefs move on, and this isn't that dynamic, crazy, unbelievable Chiefs team that just scores at will. They score when they need to, and defensively they came up. How do you like them going into Baltimore now?
Feel the same way about this game that it did come to the AFC Championship game. Like, it feels like the pieces are there for the home team to succeed, but this Kansas City team always finds a way. Like, Baltimore is better on both sides of the football right now than Kansas City. But
I thought Buffalo was too, but Buffalo was hurt.
Not
too.
Defensively.
Yeah, Buffalo was so hurt.
But they still played really tough at home. And there's just something with this Kansas City team. Like, they have a belief, a mindset that it doesn't matter where they're playing, who they're playing, how they're playing, they can find a way to win that game.
Yeah, and they did. All right, we're here for you today. Open up the phone lines. It's going to be us and you today. 505-246-0610. That's the Sports Animals phone line, the Sports Animals text line. 505-246-0610. Emails will come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the X, it's _JJ Buck. You can watch the show every day. Adrian produces on ProView Networks. It's on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. It's on Comcast Channel 26 if you have Comcast, and it's on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. We're going to get into Lobo basketball. Big win on the road. They took the show on the road. The men did, and the ladies did, both with huge wins this weekend. Lobo men are top 25 in the net right now, going to San Jose this week, and then Nevada comes in on Sunday, so we will get into that as well. Biggest statement, was there one for you this weekend? Because for me, the biggest statement might have it was the Ravens, because it was the most definitive victory, 34-10. It was, look at us, we're still here, our defense is really good, we can do what we want to do.
Yeah, I also like the Brock Purdy and Jared Goff fourth quarters.
Ooh.
In what Jared Goff was able to do in the fourth quarter, 11-12, 131 yards and a touchdown.
Brock Purdy on 6 for 7 on that last drive.
And Brock Purdy, when the Niners weren't their usual dynamic selves.
Tell you what, that was one for me. Packers let get away. They missed the field goal, and I just said, I texted that where I was on a text thread. They're going to escape. You just had. I mean, I knew it. There was no doubt in my mind. The Packers had so many chances to lengthen that lead, to pull away, just get it more than one score. Packers were right there, had so many chances, and the Niners were just good enough, and Brock Purdy was good enough. And I don't know, man. Brock Purdy, this is a guy who wins and still gets criticized. Well, but he's not winning by enough. I don't know. He's won 81% of his games. 81%. Yeah, he was shaky early on, as were a lot of quarterbacks. You know what he did down the stretch? He was 6 for 7.
Outplayed Jordan Love.
Yeah, played when it mattered down the stretch.
The Packers' last 4 possessions, interception, punt, missed field goal, and then that Brett Favre
horrible
crossbody
man,
throw.
Oh man, and he had an opportunity, didn't he? Yeah, I mean, as he started to cock it, right? I mean, you're just going, "What are you doing?" Yeah, across the body. All right, well, if you're a Niner fan, if you're a Packer fan, let's go. If you're a Ravens fan, you're a Texas fan, let's go. Lions, I got so much to say on the Lions. I got so many thoughts on the Lions. We're going to get there. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. But when we come back, a couple of things happened for the first time since 1991 in sports yesterday. One of them, the Motor City Kitties going to play for the big trophy. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Fans crying in the stands, both in Buffalo and Detroit for totally different reasons on post-game shots this weekend. Final four set in the NFL. Chiefs and Ravens in the AFC. Lions and Niners in the NFC. And for the first time in 33 years, right? 33, that's 1991 to 2000. 24. That's 33 years. The Lions are in. They got by the Buccaneers. And give it to the Buccaneers. By the way, 3-for-all. You want some 3-for-all results? You're not going to like these, dude. DC, you took the Texans plus 9.5 against Baltimore. That's a loser. They lost 34-10. You took Tampa Bay plus 6.5 at Detroit. That also is a loser. And you took Buffalo minus 2.5 against Kansas City. They lost by 3, lose on the hook. So you went 0-3. You're now 3-3 in the postseason. I don't feel too bad. JJ took the under 43.5. Houston, Baltimore. The total was at 44. He loses by the hook. Loser. He went under 45.5 with Kansas City and Buffalo. The number was 51. He loses that. He went under 49.5 on Tampa Bay and Detroit. It ends up at 54. So he went 0-3 also. 0. So you're 1-5 in the postseason, dude. I hit on the Ravens Houston over 43.5. I win by the half point. The one game I told you I wanted to lose, I lost. Just not lost enough. I had the Niners minus 9.5 against Green Bay. That was a loser. And I had the Lions. I laid the 6.5 against Tampa Bay. So I go 2-1. I'm 4-2 in the postseason.
Keeping it rolling. It's good.
So with 2 weeks to go, I'm 4-2. JJ's 1-5, and DC's 3-3. And I won the regular season, right? Yes. I mean,
by quite a bit, actually.
I ask a question I know the answer to. I just wanted affirmation, you know. I was like 20-14 or something.
It was percentage-wise, it was very high.
So
don't remember what the actual.
This is going to make me okay. So this was honestly a little experiment for me as we started this, and it showed how hard betting is. But it wanted to prove to me why I don't bet. Honestly,
but now it's proven you should bet.
Now it's kind of making me want to go. If I win to like 21 and lose 14, I come out on the good side, right? Don't do it, dude. Just don't do it. All right. How much were you impressed by Detroit? Because I'm really impressed by Detroit. And you can tell me they beat a not really, really good Tampa Bay team, and you might even be right. I love the momentum of Detroit. I love the swagger of Detroit. I love the toughness of Detroit. I love the run game of Detroit. I like the quarterback play of Detroit. I like the defense when it matters of Detroit. Like Addie told me the other day, she said, "Dad, can we be Lions fans?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like the rest of the way, yeah, we absolutely can be Lions fans. Yeah. There's an it about them. Now they're going to run up against a really good team on the road next week, who I think is already a double-digit favorite, right? I love me some Lions right now.
You know, it's funny you bring up being a Lions fan. My niece decided she's a Lions fan. Her dad, of course, is a longtime Vikings fan. So
yeah, that doesn't go well.
Oh, it's not at all. But I mean, she's sitting there happy as a clam. It's hilarious.
Yeah. What do you guys think of them? Am I off on any?
It's only 6.5 points.
Is it 6.5?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you like them going into San Francisco if Debo's not healthy? What's Debo's injury?
Shoulder.
Well, I mean, boy, they're different when he's not in there. I mean, they waste a lot of Ayuk.
Which, Ayuk is a good number one wide receiver.
Sure he is.
Chris McCaffrey wasn't 100% either in that game.
So good, though. It doesn't matter.
And that's why it's impressive you look at that Brock Purdy fourth quarter, because that's what everyone wants to see, which is wild. It's like, well, you're too good. We need to see when you're not good. You're like, okay. And Brock Purdy was 6 of 7 in the fourth quarter, led the team down the field, and he scored a touchdown. I think without Deebo Samuel, it's a closer game for San Francisco. But it's also for Detroit, like Tampa was not that good of a defense.
That's right.
San Francisco is.
Yes. Yes.
But I trust Jared Goff in this situation to be efficient, to keep it close, and that's your challenge though, because it surprised me that Jared Goff's been to the Super Bowl. He's played in playoff games. That's the first time he's thrown multiple touchdowns in the postseason.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. But he's never really had to. There's a few things, and when you internally believe what you do, and they do, and you stick to it despite all the noise, right? It goes one of two ways. Obviously, either it works or it doesn't. That's always the case. But they make an unorthodox hire in Dan Campbell. And the guy comes out and says, we're going to bite kneecaps. And everybody laughed at him and wanted him fired. And that was brought up in the press conference. And I thought his answer was so good yesterday or whenever it was Saturday. When they went? Was that 2 days ago? They played Saturday? Yeah. Or they played, I don't even remember who played yesterday, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, they played yesterday. And some guy asked him, in your opening press conference, and people said, who is this guy? And people wanted you fired. And he says, yeah, probably a bunch of you guys are sitting right here, right now, aren't you? And I thought it was great. And Hard Knocks was a great thing for them because all of us kind of got on board, and it was really hard not to like the dude. But then you started seeing results, and then they started getting better, and now they're in the NFC Championship game. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, 12th overall. Everybody's, what are they doing? They drafted Sam Laporta in the second round. How big were those two first and second round picks?
They have drafted as well, if not better, than everyone the last 2 to 3 years.
And my point, and it's kind of going back to where I was. You believe in your building and what you're doing. From the general manager to make a kind of a weird head coaching hire, weird is a word, maybe unorthodox. Bring in this guy, stick with him, and then make a strategy in the draft and stick with it despite all the noise outside. And here they are for the first time in 33 years in the NFC Championship game. And the belief in there, and like everybody's a team. Oh, those are my brothers, and I got my brothers back. I love my brothers. There's something a little different about this group. Don't you feel that?
They play good football. They started at the end of the last season, which is big because if they don't go on that run to end last season, they're not like Jared Goff's not the quarterback of this team.
If they don't go on the run last year.
They were not a winning football team last year. They were at the end of the season.
Yeah, but they started out like 1-6
claw out of a hole, which put them on this trajectory this year.
But I don't hear, like, at the end of games, guys unsolicitedly saying Mike Shanahan's the best leader I've ever known, or Jim Harbaugh. I mean, they all like, right? And maybe they don't have to say that because those guys have way more respect built into their name.
I think some of it too is on the outside, people don't know what Dan Campbell is good at. Because with like Kyle Shanahan, you're like, well, he's an offensive genius. And John Harbaugh, he's been there, done that for how long, he's won a Super Bowl. But Dan Campbell, everyone's like, well, is he just a motivator? Does he know this? Does he know that? And the dude is just a good head football coach. Sometimes you don't have to be like this specific guy. Like Dan Campbell knows football.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he needs to do. But he is a CEO motivator, which those guys are echoing. Like he's not we don't consider him like, oh man, like Dan Campbell, offensive scheme, that's unbelievable. No, Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that Dan Campbell defense, what are you talking about? Aaron Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
But he sets the tone for that franchise.
Whatever it is, I mean, whoever's at the very top sets the tone, right? And it probably works wherever you are, right? I mean, if you work at a bank and the branch manager is really good, and you got a guy who deals with the loan officers and the tellers and whatever, right? Radio station, there's a guy at the very top, and then there's program directors or whatever. The guy at the top sets the tone, right? It's what we always talk about is culture, and there's an it factor to them, and I don't know that they're going to win the Super Bowl. They got to get through a really, 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 really good team this week. Who do you? This isn't as easy as maybe it sounds. Which quarterback do you trust more next week in the NFC Championship? Brock Purdy or Jared Goff? And it's not an easy question, right? One guy's been to the Super Bowl. One guy's not. One guy played in the NFC Championship game but couldn't raise his arm last year. Who do you trust more? A number one overall or a number last overall?
The number one overall pick or the last pick in the NFL draft? It's in this too, the Detroit Lions story for sport, it's about getting it right in multiple places. It's about getting it right in the front office, getting it right at the head coach, as it shows you there is always a chance.
Who do you trust?
I trust the 49ers line, so I'm going to say Purdy. Trent Williams is amazing. Having that kind of protection and time to throw, Brock's got... He's proven to be a good quarterback, and when you have that line, man, he can be great.
Well, look, if you're going to say I trust that line, the guy with Christian McCaffrey, I understand that.
I tell you what, though, Jahmyr Gibbs is starting to look a little like McCaffrey. He is a heck of a good back.
Boy, and I think Van Pelt said it last night, speed you can see on that touchdown run, that 31-yard run where he ran away. It was really good. I don't know the answer. If you were going to ask me, I got the same team. I got the Niners. I got the Lions. I got whoever. Who do you want quarterback in your team this weekend? That dude or that dude? Look, Brock Purdy didn't make a lot of mistakes, dude. And I know he's taking it, and I don't even know why. I can't. This is where it kills me to defend a 49ers quarterback. But dude's won 81% of his starts. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Yeah, he missed he missed an open receiver. Yeah, they all miss an open receiver, dude. I mean, Kelsey was open early in the game, and Mahomes missed him in the back of the end zone too. They all miss an open receiver. It's really hard. How you got to make that throw? Oh, come on, man. I don't know what happened. What
happened in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
What happened to the game on the line?
What happened with the game on the
line?
line?
We're going to overanalyze quarterbacks and specifically do that in the postseason. We always look for comparison, and people like to have an idea of this player is what. Jared Goff and Brock Purdy are the same dude.
Jared Goff and Brock Purdy are the same dude.
They're quarterbacks that are good, they're efficient, and they win games, and people are never going to view them as good enough.
Yeah, and they never get their due.
It's a really interesting point. As you said it, I thought to myself, it really is kind of a coin flip. You'd be pretty good off with either.
No, seriously, right? I'm thinking this through, and it should be an easy answer. Well, I mean, the dude who's the number one overall pick, you should trust more than the dude who's the number last overall pick, whatever number that is, right? But the last pick in the draft, this irrelevant guy, has a better winning percentage. Well, the other guy's been to a Super Bowl. Well, but this guy doesn't make mistakes. I mean, you can tell me Brock Purdy didn't win the game, and I would argue with you, by the way. I would absolutely argue with you. He did. He did. He got the ball. Well, they missed a field goal. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. They missed a field goal. And he marched downfield. Dude was 23 of 39, 252, a touchdown, no interceptions. Took one sack. I don't know. You tell me what
you got to make plays. And Green Bay missed their opportunity. Yeah, they had a dropped interception in the first quarter. Yep. Could have swung in the game. Got stuffed on a quarterback sneak in the red zone when they had all the momentum, even it was just a 3-0 game at that point in time.
What 3 points for their first 3 possessions in the red zone in the first half? Yeah.
The team that was scoring in the red zone last week against Dallas did not do that this past weekend against San Francisco. And that's sport. There's moments where you have to take advantage of the luck that is presented to you, and San Francisco was able to do that.
Would Cowboy fan take Brock Purdy over Dak Prescott?
Yes.
I mean, you look at how many places in the NFL would Brock Purdy be an upgrade right now? The answer is more than half, right? Although people would be really hard to fathom it. It's like, I don't know, do I want him instead of Kyler Murray? I mean, Kyler Murray, yeah, you do.
But I would still take Dak over Brock Purdy.
Okay.
But if you give me a coaching staff and Brock Purdy, yeah.
No, it's a lot of the coaching staff, and I understand the system thing. Dude still has to make plays, man. He's been, I mean, pretty immaculate at
He turns
making
football
plays.
over.
He
wins in the playoffs. And that's one where, too, in the moment you say it, and Cowboy fans are screaming because we went through it last week.
I know.
Done with Dak, throw him away, put him on a trash heap. Gotta win in the playoffs.
Yeah, you do. All right, let's hear from you. 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Wide right. Bills fans had a vomit in their mouth when they heard wide right. Well, I'm going to tell you why it wasn't all on wide right last night, the missed field goal. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, President of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This is was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls.
I'm going to guess that's Kansas City Radio. That's Kansas City Radio. Kevin Harlan was, if you could put Kevin Harlan on that was unreal here on the Sports Animal. That was the kick with about a minute 46 to go. Mm-hmm. And everybody's saying, well, he lost the game. He didn't lose the game to Kansas City. Chiefs win 27-24. Do any of us really believe if you were going to give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes? I mean, last time they played the playoff and drove down the field. This time he would have had a minute 46 and 2 timeouts. We really believe he wasn't going to drive down the field and get a winning field goal?
We don't know, but if you're a Bills fan, you want to see him do it again.
Yeah, I would have liked to. I mean, yeah.
So losing the game right there.
It's fair. But do you really believe he wasn't going to do that?
I don't know.
I don't
it's sport.
Yeah,
like it's and that's also, we got to talk about the end of the Detroit-Tampa Bay game where
with
Detroit
the timeout
took their kneel downs too fast and Tampa Bay didn't call a timeout, and then Todd Bowles comes out post-game press conference saying, well, they would have lined up for the field goal. Well, what if they would have missed?
All right, set this, because
it's the same thing there.
It is weird. Okay, I'm glad you said that. I'm watching the game with Addie's with me, my daughter, and I said, okay, here's what's going to happen. And I did the time. I said they're going to call a timeout after this play, and so they're going to make Detroit, kick a field goal, and I thought that maybe I was reading it wrong, right? You know how they have the little ticks underneath the name, so it shows you how many timeouts there are on the lower third scoreboard. Yeah. And I thought I read it wrong, or maybe Fox had it wrong on there. Like, literally, I'm looking at why isn't he calling a timeout? So after the game, Todd Bowles, the head coach of the Buccaneers, as you were just alluding to, was asked why he didn't use it, and his response was, well, it was just delaying the inevitable. No, dude, you make that. I mean, have you never seen a missed field goal, a blocked field goal? You would have had upwards of 25 seconds, right?
And that's why the whole, well, if you give Patrick Mahomes a minute and a half, yeah, but you still want to go through that process.
Make him do it. No, I
still want to see it happen again if it happens again. Yeah. And missing a field goal takes that away. And then not calling a timeout when you had it and Detroit took their kneel downs as fast as they did.
That one was stunning to me. That one stunned me.
Like that's the Todd Bowles I look at and go, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
That was such an unbelievably bad thing that no one really talked about yesterday.
As it was happening, I literally, and I was explaining it to my daughter as we were watching the game. And then I said, I guess they didn't have a timeout.
The inevitable could be a blocked kick. Could be a missed kick. What are you talking about?
Dude, he hits the upright. You get the ball back with 25 seconds to
Mike
go.
Evans was shredding him.
Lord knows, right? Lord knows. No, I can't agree with you more. I can't agree with you more.
That was wild to me.
Yeah, I can't.
Especially the team you just watched Baker Mayfield throw a 4th down touchdown pass.
I know. Okay. I know. Now, on the other side, did that cost them the game? It cost them a shot at the game.
Yeah.
The missed field goal, the Tyler Bass missed field goal for the Buffalo Bills. And boy, did the wind just take that thing, too. I mean, it was like watching you hit a drive.
Yeah.
It starts out straight and it just goes dead right.
It's gone.
Like literally, watching you, it starts out straight, you hit it good and dead right. Have you played with JJ yet? Yeah? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You seen?
Yeah. It did look like what his. I mean, mine too. Yesterday I straightened it out. Yesterday I did. Did you find Harlan by any chance? This is what it sounded on the Sports Animal and Westwood One. And Kevin Harlan in these moments, look, man, does he go over the top? He goes over the top in such. Do you agree with me? In the right way?
Of course.
Kevin Harlan in moments like this, and as a neutral announcer, a national guy, is really, really good. No, that's the Buffalo call.
That's Jim Nantz.
Well, that is gymnastics. That's gymnastics call. Yeah, that's the call on CBS. Yeah, the Harlan call was radio. Because he does the radio for
No, he does. Kevin Harlan is the Westwood One voice.
Yeah, that was gymnastics. Wide right. When it went wide right, I mean, Buffalo fan just kind of their heart just went what? Because that's how they lost
Again, yeah.
Wide right. Scott Norwood was the kicker back in the day, and I mean those Jim Kelly Super Bowls. And this was, when how differently would we look at Jim Kelly if they won a Super Bowl? Would we look at Jim Kelly differently? Right?
It's the only way we look at quarterbacks, Jeff.
And Scott Norwood pushed it wide right, and they lost the game, right? And Jim Kelly lost another Super Bowl. Tom Brady won another Super Bowl because, what's my dude? I was just Patriots interception, stepped in front of it.
Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler. Right? Tom Brady won a Super Bowl that way. He'd win one less. Would we think any less of him? I don't think so. But I mean but he won. Well, Malcolm Butler had a little bit something to do with that, right? It's amazing, and that's when I know Josh Allen's going to eat this one, and it's all on Josh Allen. Tyler Bass got to make a field goal, and with all due respect, man, I know everybody loves Stephon Diggs. Dude's got to catch the football.
Well, he's been MIA the last 8 weeks. Close to that.
Is that because he's not getting the ball thrown to him? He had 8 targets yesterday. 2 balls hit him in the hands, including one that should have been a touchdown.
I don't think that's the case. I think we've just seen a different Buffalo Bills offense that's been good, and it just hasn't relied on Stephon Diggs the way it did previously. And if you're Buffalo, the Stephon Diggs show, it's over. They need a number 1 wide receiver in there. Gabe Davis didn't play in this game.
Mm-hmm. Big game.
But, you have Dalton Kincaid and James Cook.
Who were both really good.
Those are going to be 2 really good players for the next few years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always the question, is you can't win. You can't beat Patrick Mahomes. They beat you again. What do you do?
What do you think of Mike Evans there?
You get healthy.
Mike Evans.
I don't think Tampa Bay lets him out of the building.
You think they franchise him if he does?
No, I think they give him a contract.
Okay.
Nice little 2-3 year deal, because I think Mike Evans is like 31, 32.
Yeah. He's
because he's never not had a 1,000 yard season.
I looked at his numbers the other day, and I'm like, wow, sneaky Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's the most.
Yeah.
Like Mike Evans is the most underrated player in that league on the offensive side.
One of them. Yeah. All right. 505-242-0610. We're going to talk a whole bunch more NFL. When we come back, Louisville men's basketball on the road, big win. They are now net top 25. I'll tell you where they are. And there's a saying, cooler than a cucumber. DC, what's cooler than a cucumber? A V-cumber. And how that leads to an upset over a ranked team. It's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit. Up and no good. Wide right. Wide right. The Bills kicker missed a field goal. Wide right. Jubilation for the Chiefs sideline. 1:43 to go. Bass missing wide right from 44.
Kevin Harlan on Westwood One. That's heard right here on the Sports Animal. The final score, the Chiefs beat the Bills 27-24. They are out of the Chiefs onto the AFC Championship game. They'll play the Baltimore Ravens. Text line 505-246-0610. This says from Travis, for those keeping score at home, the Lions have made it to more conference championships this century than the Cowboys.
That is correct.
He's not wrong.
Shots fired.
This one says San Francisco and Detroit in the NFC Championship game. I predicted that the first week of the season. Too bad I didn't bet then. Yet I predicted Miami and San Diego in the AFC. So, yeah, it would have, and you'd have lost the juice, so you'd have lost a few bucks. See? And same guy, yet quite annoyingly, only now is Detroit getting the respectful talk due to its performance and improvement over last year when the lowly Lions respect lagged the losing Broncos. The Lions have gotten respect on this show all year.
Yeah, I think
like there's just not, that's not right. At least not here. The Lions have gotten respect here all year on this show. We all picked them to win the division. No, that's just not right.
I mean, nationally, everyone was picking them as well. I think they got a ton of respect preseason.
Yeah. All right. Lobo men's basketball beats Air Force over the weekend, 85-66. JT Toppin with another double-double. We may have to stop talking about him being one of the best freshmen in the league and talk about him being one of the best players in the league.
Exactly what Rich Pitino said post-game.
Yeah. He's fantastic. So, the net rankings as of this morning, and this is the metric that the NCAA, one of the metrics that the tournament committee uses. Lobos are 24th in net rankings. There are 4 Mountain West teams in the top 30. San Diego State is 20. You're going to go, how the hell are they? They lost to Boise State, and they lost to Lobos. How are they above the Lobos? And as JJ said earlier, they played a hell of a non-conference schedule, and that's why they are what they are right now. They're 2-4 in quad 1, as the Lobos are 2-2 in quad 1. But San Diego State's 20, New Mexico 24, Colorado State 27, and Utah State 28. Nevada has dropped down to outside the top 50. Boise State is 50, and Nevada dropped down to 55, and UNLV's up to 84. So you got 6 teams in the top 85. JJ, game at San Jose. Here's what was most impressive to me, and I don't know how much of it you saw because you were on the air at the same time. They took the show on the road. They didn't toy around. They pounded an Air Force team whom they are better than and left no doubt and just took care of business.
It's getting out early and staying ahead in that game. It's a credit to how good this team is, because these are the games you have to do that. San Jose State should be a much closer game with the way the Spartans have played.
Especially at home.
At home in San Jose. But to go in the Clume, and that was everyone, the Clune Gloom.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. And this team, no problems whatsoever.
All right. And then the game you had, JJ is, of course, the voice of Lobo women's basketball. Lobos went on the road to UNLV. UNLV was ranked 23rd in the country. They had won 29 in a row against Mountain West competition, correct?
That's correct.
22 in a row at home? Is that what it was? Something crazy. Anyway, 22.5-point underdogs. Former Sandia star Vianney Cumber hits a bomb of a three-pointer, like a 29-foot three-pointer with 3 seconds to go. And the Lobos, and am I right? First time under Mike Bradbury, they beat a ranked team?
No, they did beat Marquette.
Okay.
That was the last one.
All right. So, but like the first time in 7 years? Yeah. All right. This is your beat, man. That is a huge.
It was best experiences I've had broadcasting games. Just to be in that environment where it was solid crowds that afternoon at Cox Pavilion. A team that has been the last time they lost against the Mountain West team was March 2nd, 2022. That was the final game of the regular season.
So that's damn near 2 years ago.
They lost to Nevada, and then they went on to win 3 games in the Mountain West tournament. Won 18 last year, and then our first 5 this season. And the Lobos just never let them pull away. UNLV scored the first 8 points in the game, responded. They get it to 7. The Lobos would be right back. And what UNLV does is they blitz people at home. Like, they're winning by double digits.
25 points, man. They were averaging winning by 25 points.
Like, just running away from people in Vegas. And the Lobos never let them get comfortable. Held them to 38% shooting. And Cumber was money. 6 of 11 from 3. Just all confidence. And they switched it up. They initially started that final possession in man, and then a couple seconds in, switched to zone. And B just kind of looked at that, got it, top of the key, and let one fly.
Yeah, it was a huge win for the program and for them, and coming off what a week, right? Earlier in the week, they beat Wyoming, who was 4-0 in league. Mm-hmm. So they beat the top 2 teams in the league, and in I don't know, we'll see.
Well, so the top 3 teams in the Mountain West Conference coming into last week, you were looking at UNLV, Wyoming because they were 4-0, and Colorado State got off to a slow start. People look at Colorado State and say the second most talented team in the Mountain West. And so Lobos started Saturday at Fort Collins, lost that one. But then to play Wyoming at home, win that game, go into Las Vegas, and knock them off the first time. It was a heck of a week for that basketball team.
Yeah. So do you feel they've turned the corner? I mean, because they were kind of scuffling, certainly offensively, right, to figure things out. But that is the biggest win for women's basketball that I can remember in, a bunch of years. Certainly since you've been doing it, right?
Yes.
Hit the bus ride to the airport and the flight, and everybody had to be in a little.
It was lit. It was just the energy and just seeing all the players get in the bus and how they're feeling, and it was electric. And those are the moments you live for.
The place looked shocked, and again, I only watched the highlights. What's the UNLV coach's name?
Lindy LaRosse.
She looked miserable, like leading, coming down that handshake line. Like I don't even want to say in shock. She looked cranky, and losing sucks. I get it. And they're not used to it, and they don't do it a lot. But she looked pissed.
The second loss of the season for UNLV.
Yeah, that's a ranked team. That's a really good team. Don't underestimate what that win was. Is it fair to say that cucumber is cooler than a cucumber?
Cooler than a cucumber.
Well, that's the old saying, right? V is cooler than Q. I'm down with that. A big one for them. And next up, Wednesday, back in the pit against Fresno State, right?
That is correct.
Lobo men on the road Wednesday. One of those late night games. They'll be in San Jose, take on a Spartans team that is dangerous. One of those teams damn near beat Boise State there. Damn near beat San Diego State there. San Diego State won by 3 points. Needed a J. Powell block at the end to preserve that. Did you see San Diego State Boise State the other night? Or the other morning? Boise State beat them by 1 up in former Taco Bell Arena. What's it called now?
Extra Mile Arena.
Yeah. Extra Taco Arena. Extra chalupa, because everybody needs an extra chalupa. All right, when we come back, I want to hear from you. 505-246-0610. What it means now going forward. Chiefs are in. They will play the Ravens in the AFC Championship game. Lions are going to San Francisco. Of course, they'll play the night game, or the cold game at night, and the warm weather game during the day. Of course, that makes sense. NFL Red Zone, we're going to do it at 8:15 this morning. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and DC. You're listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, the home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
Pro football is a game, not a war.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like and show that you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, the
It's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Light skin shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
San Francisco in the National Football Conference in the National Football League to play for Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. We're open for business today. We want to hear your thoughts on what some think is the best weekend in football. The division round where you get 4 games that mean so much. You got 3 games that were pretty good. 3 games that were within one score. I got a text from one of our callers, JJ, early after the Ravens game, 34-10 over the Texans, basically saying, there were 6 playoff games and 5 of them were blowouts. I'm like, yeah, and you say there's too many bowl games, huh? Too many damn playoff games. There's too many playoff teams. And then they got really good.
It's 3 more after that Baltimore-Houston game.
Yeah, and then they got really, really good. I don't know which one you thought was the best. It's gonna really come down to where your interest lies. But the Chiefs-Bills game is the one that's getting all the talk. I want to get into the narrative, right? There was so much on Lamar. He had a win. Jordan Love, well, look, Jordan Love threw a bad pass, made a really bad decision. But if you decided he wasn't your guy, you know what's crazy? There's more positive talk about the future for Jordan Love, the guy who lost that game, than there is about the guy who won the game, who's won 81%. No, honestly.
Yes.
The people are more in love with Jordan Love, and I like Jordan Love a lot. For the life of me, am really struggling to understand why people aren't on board consensually on Brock Purdy being the franchise quarterback of the 49ers.
It is hard to change narratives. Okay. When you set expectations, it's like preseason polls.
Yeah.
Like they could be wrong because you're guessing on brand new teams. And if you don't live up to, you were picked third, they never really were that team. And it's the same thing with Brock Purdy being the last pick in the draft. That weighs on him. It's the same thing with people thinking that he doesn't have the ceiling. It's the team. So he's just driving it and not even given, 5th year. Like he's just kind of in 4th year all the time. And I think that's people watching Brock Purdy are like waiting. Well, he needs to do it without this or without that, come from behind. And he did. Deebo Samuel wasn't there. He needed a drive in the 4th quarter. He was 6-7. Set him up in position where they gave it to Christian McCaffrey and scored a go-ahead touchdown. Did his job.
Who does it without players? Brady somewhat did, right? Aside from Randy Moss, his best receivers were Julian Edelman, right?
He did have Rob Gronkowski.
He did have Rob Gronkowski, who, by the way, we kept hearing yesterday, was, until yesterday when Kelsey caught 2, it was him and Brady had the most touchdown hookups in playoff history. He did.
It's this. We are so caught up as a sports watching society that if you're not Patrick Mahomes, well, then
freakishly athletic,
then we have to say you're just not that good.
But if you could be freakishly athletic like Josh Allen, but he hasn't won to the level that Mahomes has. So I get it. Lamar hasn't won, but he's freakishly athletic. For whatever reason, we're in love, you and many, with Justin Herbert, who hasn't done anything. He throws the ball.
Give him some time, and then when they trade him to the Rams, he'll win a Super Bowl.
Okay, but so this is such a good conversation for me because give him time. Hell, you've given Brock Purdy 2 years as a starter, and all he does is win. But yet, I don't know. But that guy's so good. The guy that doesn't win and can't get to the playoffs with what we consider to be a pretty good roster. Well, yeah, but he's got McCaffrey and he's got Shanahan. Damn it. Mahomes has Kelsey.
There's multiple ways to do this. And are you ever going to take Brock Purdy like number 1 in a draft? No. But that's in football. If you build it, the 49ers were a quarterback away. It doesn't mean you need an elite quarterback, but you need a good quarterback. You saw the same thing happen with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Better than Jim Garoppolo, yeah.
And you're seeing it right now with Brock Purdy. But and it's if you're not in that upper echelon, for some reason there's always this, well, I don't think he can do it. I don't think he can do it. Well, he's here again in back-to-back years in the NFC Championship game. I don't know what else you want. Okay, you're saying he's not elite, fantastic. The dude is guiding a good football team. And sometimes that's all you're looking for. How many of these teams are... It happened with the Broncos.
I know.
That's why they gave everything for Russell Wilson. We're a quarterback away. We're a quarterback away.
And these guys just found one at the bottom of the draft.
And they just plug and play. Let's go. And he's good.
Josh Allen's elite. He's never gotten. He's not here. Dak Prescott is great. Well, he sure as hell isn't here. Jalen Hurts is great. Well, he's not here.
And Josh Allen just can't beat Patrick Mahomes.
Kyler Murray's so good.
Get in line. Who couldn't beat Michael Jordan?
Trevor Lawrence is this good. He's not sniffing this. Deshaun Watson's got $250 million. He hasn't got close to this. Justin Herbert, really?
Now, we'll say you put in those dudes on the San Francisco team, I think they're in the same spot, and that's the challenge for Brock Purdy.
Well, I think that's always the challenge. So if you put Brock Purdy on the Browns or on the Chargers,
right?
I don't know. Yeah, they're good. They're really, really good, dude. They've got great weapons, and this is the whole. Remember what Kobe was without Shaq? After Shaq left and before Pau Gasol came. And I'm a Kobe guy, dude. I don't know how good has LeBron been without. Well, I don't know. That's really not fair. He's had Anthony Davis and he's had great guys around him. He was really good when that one year he carried Matthew Dellavedova, right? When he was in his prime. And I'm not comparing LeBron necessarily to Brock Purdy, but my point is great players are surrounded by great players. And it's amazing when they don't have great players. Well, maybe they're not that great. Yeah, dude, everybody in any team sport, the great teams have great players, plural. We talk about in basketball all the time. How many guys have won championships by themselves without multiple stars? Batman, Robin, maybe a third, right? Jordan, Pippen, Shaq, Kobe, pick it. Right? So, yeah, I guess I'm not going to beat the guy up because they put a good team around him. Yeah. I'm actually going to give him credit because there's been guys who have good teams around him who have screwed it up.
That haven't had this success.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind. And look, I'm a Jordan Love guy. I root for Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love. I think he's a quarterback. I think they found something there. He made a really bad decision at the end of that game. But the rhetoric coming out of that has been way more love for the guy who lost than the guy who won.
I think if you're comparing them 1 versus 1, I think Jordan Love has a higher ceiling than Brock Purdy. But that doesn't mean that Brock Purdy's...
Let me ask you this.
bad quarterback.
If Brock Purdy was a quarterback of the Packers that day and Jordan Love was a quarterback of the Niners on Saturday, who would have won the game? I mean, I don't know either. Niners are a better team, right? The Niners are a better team, and the Packers had them damn near beat. Packers had them beat. I just the whole Brock Purdy phenomenon, and I understand. I firmly believe it's because people cannot get over. As you once told me, dude, they don't miss. They don't miss in the draft. How can this guy be the last pick overall? How did everybody overlook him 7 times or more? Right? Well, sometimes there's a jewel at the bottom of the draft. Tony Romo was drafted where? Oh, wait, he wasn't, right? Turned into a pretty good NFL quarterback, didn't he?
It's weird, too, that we... with quarterbacks, it's like they have to win by themselves, but...
I know.
The team has to be good. It's just weird talking points that we get stuck in what we all do trying to figure this out and the way people react to what they see.
Where are you on this? I see you back there, and I can kind of hear your gears grinding on this one.
It's a tough one with the Packers because in their second drive, they went for it on 4th down and 14. And I felt like they
really lost it on the tush push. They didn't.
They didn't convert. So I just feel like they should have taken the points there, and the game would have been way different. So I kind of put it on coaching because I think Love did. Yeah, he made a bad play at the end, but he was trying to make something happen. He had a ton of pressure on it. It was not pretty, but he was doing what he thought he had to do to get a win there. So I don't put that on him as much. Few of the decisions, I don't know why they went for it on that 4th down. Yeah. And I think that changed
call better play.
Well, call a better play. Yeah, I mean that would be one.
No one else is converting on the tush push like
the Eagles.
The Eagles. I have no problem with going for it. Just call better play. Like it's if you want to keep the momentum up, fine.
Look, I'm going to praise all 3 of the 4 quarterbacks who lost this weekend, and the only one that I didn't think played well was C.J. Stroud, and he was terrific all year, right? And they've absolutely hit on their quarterback there. Baker played well enough to win. Josh Allen certainly did to me, and Jordan Love.
I wouldn't count out C.J. Stroud.
No, I'm not. I'm telling you, I really like C.J. Stroud. I just didn't think he played well this week. The Ravens took him out of it.
They took the entire run game out of it. He did everything he could to keep him alive. They were tied at half.
Yeah, he was 19 of 33 for 175 yards.
They did not. You're right. But that's credit to the defense.
Yeah, no. The Ravens took him out. Like, look, I love C.J. Stroud. He's their quarterback. He's a future star.
It's better than Brock Purdy.
I didn't think he played well this weekend. Okay, that's not a knock on him, dude. They played the number 1 seed on the road in the playoffs in his rookie year, and they got beat. I got no problem with him. But I thought the other 3 quarterbacks who lost, Jordan Love, I thought played well until the last pass, played well enough to win. Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield. Right? So somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose, dude. It's how games are, right? Somebody's got to lose, and then we got to beat the hell out of the loser.
And then we have to destroy the losing quarterback.
And I'm not into it. I'm just not. And I look at all those 3 quarterbacks. Like, do you want to beat up, and you beat up on Allen more because there's been more of them, right? Baker, great story. He came off the scrap heap and got him to the second round of the playoffs and had him there and had the ball in his hands at the end and picked. He also threw a pick, right? Well, Jordan Love, first year starting, nobody picked him. Oh, what a great year. Well, but Josh Allen just can't get by that guy. I don't know if he's it. Really? Look at that dude and tell me you don't think he's it. By the way, putting balls right on receivers and they're dropping the ball.
Like, hey, Josh, get in line. Of players that could not beat a great one.
Well, nobody's beaten that dude yet, right? Burrow did once. I felt for Josh Allen, man. I mean, you could see how he was hurt after that one. That was a big.
That's understandable. If you're Buffalo, I get how you could be. You're probably not up this morning yet. Just as you're sitting back going, okay, that's the least explosive the Chiefs team we've seen,
and we got them at home
over this run. They come in to your stadium.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's playing good football.
Yeah.
Josh Allen played a good game. And then you're like, wait a second. 27 points, 2 touchdown passes, no interceptions, no sacks. Kansas City did it again.
You know what happened? What? He went to a Mountain West school.
Yeah. So did Jordan Love, right? So they lose.
Isn't that what they're going to say? He didn't go to a big enough school.
Oh, so if he'd have played in the Big Ten, he'd have won that game because at some point he had to play at Illinois and at Purdue, and that would have prepared him.
When I hear people say that,
that is a crap.
It is. It's just the weakest argument I've ever heard. I find it comical.
I know Steve Young was pretty good. He played in the WAC, right?
We got Cal, Iowa State,
Louisville,
and Texas Tech.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Who's in the Final Four?
How about that for quarterbacks?
That is something.
Pretty good. Cal, Louisville, Texas Tech, and Iowa State. Yeah, it's not your normal powerhouses.
No, but it's interesting because it does show you can find a good quarterback that can take you there.
Do you know where Ben Roethlisberger went to school?
Yes, University of Miami, Ohio.
That's correct. Yeah. No, there's been some damn good.
Beta Theta Pi.
Is that right?
Yep.
Why do you know that?
I know a lot of random stuff. I wish I could tell you.
And so you have a number 1 pick, Jared Goff.
Last pick.
Number 10 pick, Patrick Mahomes. Number 32 pick, Lamar Jackson, and the very last pick in Brock Purdy.
Find them wherever you need them, man. They're all over the place. Like, there have been some great quarterbacks in the National Football League that didn't go to your superpowers, right? Now, there's been some who did. I mean, when you say the greatest, Marino, I don't know, is Pitt a superpower? Is Stanford a superpower for Elway? Right?
Do you want to know what will also always hurt more for Buffalo?
What? Wide right?
So, Kansas City in the 2017 draft. They're the team, and with Alex Smith, feeling pretty good. Andy Reid rolling. They had the number 27 overall pick.
They traded up to 10, right?
And they traded up to number 10.
Yeah.
You know who was the team picking at 10 in that draft?
They traded with Buffalo?
The Buffalo Bills.
What did they get for it?
The Buffalo Bills gave Kansas City Patrick
What did they get
Mahomes.
for that trade, or for that pick?
They got a 2018 first-round pick and like 2 others in the 2017
swapped
draft.
picks.
Yeah,
right.
swapped picks. They got a first-round pick the following year.
Was it worth Patrick Mahomes?
So Buffalo gave Kansas City Patrick Mahomes.
I did not know that. All right, when we come back, we're going into the red zone. DC's put together some stuff. We'll get into some big topics in the National Football League. Open for business at 505-246-0610. We'll do that when we get back. Meanwhile, your car looks like your car looks like. I know. I get it. Everybody's does. We've had storms. It's been winter. Dirt, mud, road salt. It's all stuck to your car. You got junk all through the interior, and you can take care of that just by calling my friends at On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They will help you detail your vehicle. And actually, they won't help you. They'll do it. They'll come to you and detail your vehicle. What does that mean, Jeff? That means they not only clean it. This is deep. Inside, outside, under the hood, around the rims, like under the seats. Stuff that you didn't even know you had there. They put in a little box and they're like, hey, is this yours? You're like, oh. Where'd that? I lost that months ago. Yeah, that's what the car dealerships do. And they do it at your convenience. They come to you. So if you're working all day, they come to the office. If you're at the house all day, they'll come do it in the driveway. Wherever it is, and when they're done, it looks and feels and smells brand new. Awarded Best of the City for 2023 because they are reliable. They are efficient. They are the best when it comes to what they do. It's all online, boys and girls. You can buy and book and schedule right there at otsdetailing.com. Give them a look at otsdetailing.com.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out.
Maybe you watched an amateur win on the PGA Tour for the first time since Phil Mickelson did it in 1991. Yeah, that happened too. Lots of football. Final Four is set. Ravens will host the Chiefs in the AFC and the nightcap on Sunday. The early game will be the Lions and the 49ers in San Francisco for the NFC Championship. That leads us right into DC's red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy?
I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right, guys, we're going to thoroughly break down championship weeks. So let's start with our Final Four confidence meter. I want to see how you guys really feel about the remaining teams now that we're down to the conference championship round. What I'm going to do is I'm going to name a group, and I want you to list on a scale of 1 to 4 how confident you are in each team. So we'll start out with coaching. 1 through 4, how confident are you in each team?
So are we ranking them?
Essentially, yes.
So like basically you'd say Andy Reid and Harbaugh, and then right? That's what you want us to do?
Yeah.
All right. So all right, here's me. Reid, Harbaugh, Campbell, Shanahan. And everybody's going to go, how do you put Shanahan at the bottom? And I just do. and he might be the best coach there, but he's not because Andy Reid's there. But I'm going the two guys with Super Bowl rings first, 1, 2. I'm going with Reid and Harbaugh. And I'll go Shanahan 3 and then Campbell 4.
So on a scale of 1 to 4, 1 being the most confident.
Is that how you want us to do it, or did you want us to rank them?
Yeah, I want you to rank 1 to 4, and essentially, like golf, the lowest score wins. I want to see, based on this, where you guys are at.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm giving every head coach a 1. I do not think there's an advantage, one way or the other, drastically. Harbaugh, been there. Reid, been there. Dan Campbell, Kyle Shanahan. All right, Kyle Shanahan's been in the Super Bowl. I think Dan Campbell has done a tremendous job with this team. They know what to expect, whether it's those going forward and 4th down, playing hard and tight games. I do not think that we're going to look at one of these games and say, man, that coach did not know what he was doing this upcoming weekend.
So you have the same confidence in Campbell as you do in Reid?
Absolutely. Okay. This weekend, in their matchups, Campbell's not coaching against Andy Reid. Campbell's coaching against Kyle Shanahan.
Second and goal.
Okay, what about special teams? 1 through 4, remaining teams.
I have to go with the best special teams is the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes.
You have Justin Tucker. You do have a special teams leading head coach, actually.
Yeah, you return punts. I mean,
and John Harbaugh.
100%.
Yeah, so the special teams, it's the Ravens. Number 2, I'd say the Lions because of their sneaky 4th down plays.
Yep.
I think you'll go for it. And then Butker Harrison Butker like him. Last place is 49ers.
Yes.
With their rookie kicker.
That's how
that could be a problem.
I wrote exactly the same way. Baltimore is special teams oriented. They return punts. They're terrific special teams. I like Detroit 2, Kansas City 3, and San Francisco 4 just because the rookie kickers scuffled at times. And so Baltimore, Detroit, Kansas City, and San Francisco.
3rd and goal.
All right, this will be interesting. What about the offensive side of the ball?
Kansas City, Baltimore, San Francisco, Detroit.
Baltimore, Kansas City, San Francisco, Detroit. I like what Lamar Jackson is doing. And you know what I love is, like, I hope we are past the era of, oh, that dude's athletic. He can't win a playoff game. Like, Josh Allen had the Bills in position to win that game because of his rushing ability. Lamar Jackson set the Ravens up all throughout the regular season, passing the football. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to go out there and just destroy you and win this game with his legs. So we had 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns. I think that the Baltimore Ravens are the most complete offense right now. Of course, you can never count out Patrick Mahomes because when you want to, all he did against the Dolphins was not turn it over, not get sacked. That team scored 26 points. Didn't turn it over, didn't get sacked against the Bills. 27 points, 2 touchdowns. So that's why you have him there. Still trust the system overall with Brock Purdy, the winning quarterback, at the helm. And that was the toughest one with putting Detroit, quote unquote, last in this Final Four. They just had 391 yards total offense. Goff, 2 touchdowns, not turning it over. And making Jahmyr Gibbs the 1A is good for Detroit.
Does Debo change anything if he's back? Would you put San Francisco higher, or does that not make a difference at all?
I factor Debo being in there because I figure he's going to play.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, finally, they say defense wins championships, so who's got best defense?
I got Baltimore, San Francisco, Kansas City, Detroit.
If I can I give ones to 3 teams? Baltimore, Kansas City, and San Francisco, and then give it 3 to Detroit.
It's not my rules, man.
But because
I just ranking them is what I thought we were doing, but yeah.
I'm switching it up. I'm going all over the place because I think when you look at Kansas City, they've leaned into that. That's who they are. That defense is really good. I think Baltimore still has the best unit overall.
They do.
But San Francisco, maybe I'd probably, with some of the injuries on the back end, drop them down a little bit. So I think Baltimore and Kansas City would be ones. I'll say San Francisco 2, and then Detroit 3. And that's the one thing. Detroit is good. They're not as good defensively as these other teams, but guess what? You're in an NFC Championship game.
So what was the scorecard say?
With the way we were ranking, it's kind of worthless. So
he screwed up your game.
It's all good though. I mean, we're trying to break this down and get a feel for where.
Well, you have a scale versus rankings,
right?
And we were both kind of doing 2 different things.
Yeah, I know we were.
Because on a scale, you can give something the same number.
Right. All right, that's your red zone today. It's a weird red zone today. I liked it though. I like where you're going with it. You see, you got them all done for the whole week already.
The point is, we were going to build up, but now that Monday has been ruined, we're going to shake it up a little bit and move forward.
I would like clearer rules, please, the rest of the week on what we should do.
Fair enough. All right, 505-246-0610. Open it up and look, we're here for you. I want more on the NFL. Do we have any Dan Campbell sound from yesterday? Any of that? I want to hear from him a little bit, the Lions coach. I think, I don't know what you think the biggest story is. And maybe you think it's the Chiefs beating the Bills. And I think that may be right. I don't want to underplay what the Lions win means. And to the city, to the league, to just when something doesn't happen since 1991, 34 years ago, I think there's significance to it. And I want to dig a little deeper into what's going on in Detroit, how it happened, why it's happening, and how far this can go. And that's next. And it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for the playoffs and the Super Bowl.
This report brought to you by Sandia Area Federal Credit Union. Banking without the bank.
Stop the revolving door in your high.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls.
Does it matter? Because I don't think Dan Campbell, when Dan Campbell was named coach of the Lions, I don't think he won the press conference. He had that whole, we're going to bite kneecaps and that whole thing. And he got destroyed, didn't he? Guy that was in above his head and taking over a franchise that was a perennial loser and hadn't won in however many years. And I mean, what the Lions are. I don't have to refresh you on that. The Lions are in the NFC Championship game for the first time since 1991 after beating the Buccaneers yesterday by a score of 31-23. They'll play the 49ers in California next week. After the game yesterday, this is Dan Campbell in the Post. Do you have the question as well? He was asked about, coming from the press conference.
The question you really can't hear because he doesn't have a mic.
Right, fair enough. So he was asked, back when you had the press conference, did you, people were saying, who is this guy? And he's in over his head. And did you foresee this? All right, I'm going to preface this by saying we don't know anything. Right? I don't know Dan. But it really feels like every coach buys into their persona, whatever they are. And he's the player's coach, right? He's, we're going to do things differently. There feels to be a sincerity there. And the reason I tell you I feel that there's a sincerity there is how many players unsolicitedly talk about Dan Campbell as a leader. Okay, right? Belichick was the grumpy Cincinnati guy, right? And McVay's the boy genius, and Mike McDaniels is the professor guy, and Sirianni's the tough Philly guy. This guy buys into his personality, but I don't know. Am I too much of a sucker for just maybe hype, or does this guy seem pretty sincere to you and who he is?
I never felt anything insincere about Dan Campbell.
Yeah. He's turned around a franchise that has been losing for 30-something years. And I mean, even longer than that. Chris, you're a Lions fan. I mean, this has got to be a good day for you. What's up, Chris? Thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal.
Yeah, so Lions fan. I've been away for a long time. I've been listening, but I haven't just called in. And I'll tell you a couple things. First of all, Dan Campbell, I love Dan Campbell, not because he's winning, but I actually loved the press conference. And part of it is a couple things. First of all, Detroit's not just rebuilt at the head coach. Brad Holmes is arguably the best GM in football. Arguably.
Yeah.
you can make the case. They poo-poo every draft pick he gets.
That's right.
That he's made last 3 years. Every one of them was an impact player. The guy who did the interception, second-round draft pick a couple of years ago. So it's more than just that. The ownership changed. The leadership and ownership changed. So there's been a lot of transformation in Detroit. But I will tell you, and this is no criticism of people who do sports on radio and stuff. I'm certainly not picking on anybody. But at the national level, I think the sports reporter, the sports media, if you were going to pick the dumbest demographic in the United States, it's them. And I will tell you a couple reasons. First of all, Dan Campbell didn't come out of nowhere. And people don't remember, he was the interim head coach at Miami and almost got that job.
Yep, that's right.
In 2015.
That was 100%.
So, I mean, he made that team from pathetic to very competitive as the interim head coach. You know, a lot of interim head coaches get hired when they've done well. He didn't. He moved on to New Orleans. He was under the tutelage of another probably Hall of Fame head coach there. People remember who's now Denver Broncos head coach. And he's turned this thing around. So it's not just Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's fabulous. I love him. I think he's a great head coach. I think he's a lot smarter than people make him out to be, too. But Brad Holmes, there seems like the whole organization's insane.
And Chris, this is why I said this earlier. I said everything they've done, they got hit on, right? They got Jamar Gibbs. Why'd they take him with the 12th pick? Laporta. Everything they've done has hit. And I don't know what they expected out of Goff, right? When they traded Stafford, it was time, and he wanted out. It was time to move on. And they took on his salary, so the Rams basically threw in that first round, that pick. But I think you probably thought Goff was a placeholder. I think everybody did. I don't know what they expected, but everything that they've done with this GM and coach has turned in, I don't want to say gold yet, but certainly is turned the right way.
Yeah, well, win or lose this weekend, first of all, people aren't giving them much chance. I think some people are, but I think a lot of people aren't. But that running game for the Lions, that's a game changer. And if they control the ball, that makes a huge difference. And the Lions have been doing that all year. All year they've been doing that, and so I don't suspect it's going to change very much. But it's going to be a competitive game.
All right, well, don't be a stranger, man. It's good to hear you, and it's great points, and appreciate you. Thanks, Chris. And we're part of the dumbest demographic in America, I believe, right? Is that what I got out of this?
Yes. He said national media.
I'm okay with that. Oh, national media?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I think we've been giving Live this credit for a long time. I mean, pretty much since early to mid-early last season, no? And that was before you were here, but I mean, I know.
Well, we weren't really talking about the Lions last year until the end of the year.
Yeah, they started 1-6.
Kind of liked them mid to early.
Let's not overdo it.
All right.
Like coming into this season,
everybody was on the Lions.
Yeah, they were the favorites in the division. It was time, and they're backing it up. And his points are right. It's hitting on so many different things, the top to the bottom, the general manager, the front office, getting a good coach in Dan Campbell in there. And for Detroit, I think the biggest thing for them this week is their center and guard. Frank Ragnow battled through that game. That was a hurt dude to finish the game. Yeah. Left guard did not come back into the game. Those are things that can change a matchup when you want to say, hey, let's continue to run the football.
And can you run the football against somebody like that? No, I think that's right. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. Got a ton of emails that'll get to you both on the hoops and the football this weekend. Did you see Caitlin Clark get run over by a fan on the court storm? You guys both, neither one of you have seen this?
No, I saw it because I also saw the reaction on social media.
Yes. Maybe the best player in college basketball. Certainly in women's college basketball. They got beat. Court storm. She got run over by some dude. We'll get into that, what it means. And I got all kinds of stuff from you guys on what happened this weekend and who's going to win, who should get credit, who doesn't get credit, can I vent? All that's coming up for you next. But I've been telling you for years about IPS. International Protective Service offers standing guards 24-hour patrols to protect your home and business. Do you know that they also install alarms? You should, because I've been telling you for a while. They've been installing alarms for a bunch of years, but if you don't have an alarm in Albuquerque, you're much more likely to be a victim of break-in. And the IPS technology team installs video cameras who will record the video of criminals when they vandalize or steal your property, and that surveillance video is there for the police when they do their investigation. And surveillance discourages criminal activity. Look, IPS will set up your business with access control. So the only people who get into your business are the only people who should. You can sign up and have IPS monitor your alarm and your cameras. And when they see something or the alarm goes off, they're there within 7 minutes or less with trained armed security officers. IPS provides you the manpower and technology to protect you and your family and your property. It's a winning combination. Give them a call at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
I was a Vikings fan. It could be the season they finally stand that Super Bowl winner circle. I do. And they were the 2 seed last year. The Minnesota Vikings. And I did. I actually really liked it. And then they lost to the Giants at home in the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, I absolutely remember that. Yeah, sometimes you're right and sometimes you're not right. Just kind of like y'all, right? Except for we're part of the dumbest demographic in America. Oh, wait, that's the national sport? Okay. All right, you've been sending me emails and JJ emails. It's Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Ron says, every few years, Jeffy, you need to use a scholarship on a kicker. How many state tournament games have we seen over the years lost because clubs spent $1 billion on the roster but have a walk-on as a kicker? I don't know, man. Tyler Bass has been pretty good, hasn't he? I mean, Tyler Bass has been pretty good. Now, Andres Carlson of the Packers is a guy who's been struggling. Well, let's not forget they missed a field goal, too. We're beating the hell out of, the world's beating the hell out of Tyler Bass. Didn't the Packers guy, we'd probably have gone to overtime, right? He missed a field goal. We'd have been going to overtime there, and then who knows? I mean, it's a coin flip, and who gets the ball, and who knows?
Tyler Bass, the 6th highest paid kicker in the NFL.
Yeah, he's been pretty good, man. Tyler, he missed a field goal at a key time. But the Packers guy, Andres Carlson, I mean, he's kind of getting off. We're not talking about it. Maurice is in on the Lady Lobos on 1050. Jeff, I pretty much missed the Lady Lobos. By the time Lobo basketball men was over, I flipped on the radio, but it wasn't on 610, WTH. Then I remember hearing a promo that it was moved, so I had to browse the dial, and I think I finally landed upon a frantic voice on 1050 just as he was going, and down the stretch they come. The Lady Lobos are still there. Oh, sorry, that was my Kevin Harlan. In 2024, there needs to be a concentrated effort on more fan-friendly scheduling. Good luck to you, Maurice. Good luck to you. They both play on Wednesday night this week, by the way. You wanted to listen to both of them, watch both of them at the same time. I mean, it is what it is, man. Gene said the person at the top sets the tone. Jeff, at the end of Friday's opening drive, you offered this form for the person at the top to fire up the award-winning audience in the upcoming AAA baseball season. Instead, his response was, we have a great staff. Everyone worked hard in the offseason. The Rockies have a great recruiting class. Did that make you want to run to Credit Union Field ticket windows? It's from Gene. Yep, kind of did. Kind of ready for baseball. Well, it kind of did, Gene. Gene, I know but your demographic needs to be addressed as well. Gene's the guy who will go when they win minor league baseball. What did you want John to tell you, by the way? That he is the guy who's going out and getting the talent. He has no control over the roster. He has control over your experience, which, by the way, is spectacular at Isotopes Park. Rio Grande Credit Union Field at Isotopes Park, right? I mean, have you ever had a bad time when you go out there?
No.
He has control over that. He didn't have control over the players, man. So you're right. He didn't talk about stuff he doesn't have control over. You're right. It all starts at the top. He didn't promise you stuff that he can't deliver on. You're right, Gene. No, you're 100% right. Rod says, can I vent, Jefferson? There's nothing wrong with putting points on the board early in games. You don't always need to go for it on fourth down. When you're down by 8, you don't always have to go for the 2-point play. It's okay to close the gap with 7 with the extra point. He's kind of talking about what DC, you were talking about when the Packers didn't kick the field goal. And they went for it, and they were in the red zone 3 times in the first half and got 3 points out of it. That's what he's, and look, he's right. You get 3 there, assuming you get the chip shot field goal. But you don't know, man. Look, the other side of it is, how many times am I going to get down here against this vaunted defense? I had a great drive going, and I think I can get me half a yard. Now, I didn't love the play call either. I don't love the tush-push all the time either. I think maybe the fact that the percentages are going down, people stop doing it as much. I hate it. I'm not going to lie. I hate that call.
It's a football play.
It's a football play.
You line up to stop it, and I think with the way teams are doing it so heavily, run the fake off it. Bootleg.
I think you run a fake with an option, like because there's 2 guys back there. You kind of fake it and then come out
wing T offense out of it.
Pull a tackle and you've got an option. Run that second back with you. The 2 guys were pushing. Yeah. All right, I got more from you. We got we're going to hear from Richard Pitino post game a little bit on what he had to say after the Lobos' victory at Air Force. We got a Final Four in the National Football League. Niners and Ravens move on as 1 seeds. Chiefs and Lions move on as 3 seeds, 1 versus 3 in both the AFC and the NFC. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
Here's Maldonado for 3. Corner. Gatto drive baseline. This time he will take it to the rack.
He's so confident when he takes it to the basket.
On the board for her, 34-54. Behind the back dribble for Sosi, and Sosi buries the ball. Allison Sosi.
There's the Quan.
Still nothing. It's perimeter-oriented, pass around.
The Quan fires a 3 and gets another one.
Basket will count for Junior Hogs, and he's fouled. Fouls on Juarez.
Great finish by Moore.
With it, kicks it over to Jennings for a 3. Oh, Santana calls bank off the window.
Has been stuck on 14 the last couple possessions. There's Chloe Brown, a right corner three. It's short. Randall, the offensive rebound. Counted and a foul for Nadia Randall.
Thought about it, puts it on the court, pulls up, gives it to Brown. What is this? Oh, my goodness.
Sanchez has the third one, so he's got two of those. Quick steal, and there's the basket to close out the quarter as Brandon Lopez with a big steal.
Question a little bit, and you got me thinking about it. You know, we could hear
Tipped away by Owino. Big smooth, big jam, big time finish.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
You pick me a play here and there, and it goes the other way.
It was fun. Not everything has to be the greatest to be good.
I agree.
It was a good weekend. Look down. 1, 2, 3, 1 possession games in the playoffs. That's pretty good.
Yeah, really.
When there
good.
were only 4 games played all weekend.
What do we make of Baker Mayfield?
Man.
1 year free agent deal. He threw for 4,044 yards, 28 touchdowns during the regular season. 337 and 3 touchdowns in their playoff win over the Eagles, the defending NFC championship, or the champions. His head coach, Todd Bowles, said that he has definitely earned, that was his quote, a new contract. I don't know what that contract looks like. Mayfield says he likes the idea of having another year in this offense. He said, quote, I love this group. I've said that all year, and it's authentic. It would mean a lot to me, bring back a lot of key pieces to get this back together in year 2 in the system. I feel like we can make huge strides. I'd love that. Obviously, we'll see how it's going to play out, but I can't say enough about this organization and the opportunity they gave me this year. What do you do with Baker Mayfield? You're the GM. Where do they pick? Probably 20-something, right? 20, I'm going to guess 24-ish. You're the Buccaneers. What do you do at quarterback? Are you keeping Todd Bowles, first of all?
I am.
The guy who ate the timeout at the end of the game.
Yeah, I am definitely negotiating a contract extension with Baker Mayfield.
What's it look like?
It's probably going to be sandwiched between the Daniel Jones and Geno Smith deal. If you can come out with the Geno Smith deal.
So you're averaging about $32 million a year?
Geno Smith was 3 years, $75 million. Which is
so that's
like an absolute steal
$25 million a year.
Playoff winning quarterback.
Yeah.
Probably going to be a little bit higher.
So 30, 32, right? Because Daniel Jones about 40?
Daniel Jones is 40.
Yeah.
So if you keep him in that range, still outside of the top 10, but give him credit for what he's done, I think you're feeling good at Tampa Bay.
What are you doing with Baker Mayfield? You're the GM of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to the offseason. I got to evaluate what I did. I got Mike Evans as a free agent. I don't know what he wants to do. I got a coach that I wasn't sure about, won the division, won a game in the playoffs. Probably got to keep the coach, I think, although after last night, maybe you think differently. I don't know. What are you doing with Baker? What's my quarterback situation in Tampa Bay?
Yeah, if you could get that Geno deal, it'd be fantastic. 3 years would be ideal.
But it's probably going to be more like 3 for $90, right?
I'd feel comfortable with that.
That's $30 million a year.
If you could get that, I think everyone wins in that
So
scenario.
3 years you're committing to Baker Mayfield.
Especially for a guy that signed for $4 million this past season.
All right, so I guess what it comes down to, Baker Mayfield, former number 1 overall, okay? Former face of the Browns franchise, they gave up on him. He wasn't horrible with the Browns. He just wasn't first round or first overall pick good. Is that fair?
One playoff game.
He won a playoff game. So did Brock Purdy, last pick of the draft. He was good. He wasn't first overall pick expectations good, right? They decided to go another way. Fine, good for them. He bounced around, goes to Carolina, goes to LA, lands here. Is Baker Mayfield a guy? Really, what it comes down to now is he a guy that your franchise? I don't Tampa Bay, whatever your franchise is, it's Tampa Bay who's got him though. That says, yeah, he's my guy for the next 3 years. It's a hell of a commitment, man. I think the answer is yes.
You still want to be competitive. You still want to win football games. I think Tampa Bay, if they can get Baker Mayfield on that type of contract, it allows them to re-sign Mike Evans. It allows them to continue to put some more money back in that roster. It was in a bit of a transition because they still have some really good pieces on that team. And Baker Mayfield was money in the postseason. Absolute money. You look at what he did in those 2 games. He was really good. Now, he had 2 interceptions. The first one goes right off the hands of Mike Evans in the first quarter. Maybe he throw the football a little too hard to Mike Evans. And then, the one, it was similar to Jordan Love in a way. He's backed up, got to start driving down the field, and that was a bad pass over the middle, too. So.
That's right. That's how both those games ended. Yeah. You're going to tell me, no, dude, there's better quarterbacks. Yeah, there are, but you don't have one.
Are they? That are available to you?
Are they
That's
available?
The question.
And that's what I just said, right? You don't have one. You're not picking at the top of the draft. You don't necessarily have resources, nor do I believe you should have resources to go to the top of the draft. There are plenty of examples of quarterbacks in the National Football League who have gotten better after time. We expect because we've seen Patrick Mahomes come in, Joe Burrow come in, and win right away, right? And so we expect, and I say we, that a guy is going to win right away. Well, I don't know. Geno Smith won later in his career. Jared Goff has certainly gotten better as time has gone on. I'd argue with you that Tua Tagovailoa has gotten better as time has gone on. Daniel Jones got better as time went on. Hell, Lamar got better as time went on. Right? That's the expectation, that a guy's going to get better. If he isn't spectacular at the beginning, we want to throw him away, especially at the quarterback position, right?
Yes.
Is there something maybe that Baker's matured, calmed the bleep down, and become a better quarterback? Yeah. He had a terrific year.
Baker Mayfield deserves to be the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next year. And it's one where the reality is you want to try to get yourself a really good deal, because just like Daniel Jones, who came crashing back down to earth this past year, you don't want to overextend yourself with some of these guys. They're good. They're going to give you a chance to compete, but you're still going to need more around a Baker Mayfield, more around some of these guys than you will at the top. But that's the way it is. That's how you have to build franchises. That's how you have to work with what's available. Because you look at the potential free agent class.
It's Kirk Cousins.
It's Kirk Cousins. And then if Baker Mayfield hits the mark, he's going to get offers.
Is Ryan Tannehill on the free agent market?
Yeah. Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, Gardner Minshew, Joe Flacco, Jacoby Brissett, Ryan Tannehill. Those are some of the names that.
It's a bunch of good backup quarterbacks, dude.
Absolutely.
Except for Kirk Cousins, it's a bunch of good backup quarterbacks. Joe Flacco, by the way, was attached to his lazy boy 3 months ago. Joe, you think he's going to play again? Did he just kind of go, damn, I still got a little in me. I can go make money holding a clipboard somewhere. Let me go back up Trevor Lawrence.
I think he should stay right where he is.
Okay.
If I'm Cleveland, I'm giving him a nice backup deal for a year because I want an adult in that room with Deshaun Watson.
What is their feel at quarterback? Was that a 5-year deal?
Their feel is Deshaun better be healthy and play some games because there's nothing else they can do. It's a guaranteed contract.
We're going in year 3, right? Yeah. Of that deal? 3 out of 5? Goodness gracious. Can they, man, what do you think of their quarterback situation? Like secure-wise. I understand that there's nothing they can do. They guaranteed him $250 million. They've got 5 years. They got 3 years left. I get who their quarterback is. Why do I feel they're better every time he goes down?
If you're a Browns fan, you just have to hope that you get a full healthy season because they weren't better in the playoffs. Like that's where you saw.
They lost the playoff game. Yeah,
Joe Flacco.
They lost the playoff game.
Okay, 2 pick sixes. All right.
Yeah, that's that old dude that was sitting on the couch. Yeah, I got it. I'm not telling you Joe Flacco's the quarterback of their future. I'm not telling you Joe Flacco's the quarterback of anybody's future. Joe Flacco won him a few games, got him into the playoffs. Joe Flacco was really, really good in the role that he was asked to play until he got to the playoffs. I got you. If I'm Browns fan, am I like, yeah, we got Deshaun Watson. We got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Like, when we start talk about all these good young quarterbacks in the AFC, he slips below everybody, dude.
Yeah.
There's 12 teams in the AFC, right? There's 16 teams in the AFC. Is he considered? Top 10 quarterbacks in the AFC. Let me throw a bunch of names at you and tell me if he hits the top 10. Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar, Joe Burrow, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Trevor Lawrence, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. Those are 10 dudes. Is he better than any of those 10? In the AFC, he's the highest paid. Yeah. Is he better than any of those 10?
Not right now.
Isn't that crazy? I didn't ask you about the NFL. I asked you about the conference. The 16 teams in the AFC, dudes making $250 million guaranteed, the highest paid guaranteed in the history of the league, and yet he's not top 10 out of 16 in his conference. Okay, fine. He's better than what Denver's got, what the Raiders have, and what Tennessee. Well, I don't know. I think he's better than what Tennessee has, maybe, and better than what Pittsburgh's got and what New England's got. All right, that's flipping nuts. Isn't it crazy?
I'm sitting here thinking also, honestly, would you take Watson over Russell Wilson? I mean, at least Russell Wilson's playing games last year. Deshaun Watson is a crazy case.
Right?
He's going to make $46 million next year.
30 for 30 on him is going to be really good. If you were discretion advised. That's right. It is. What if I told you? I can't. I literally can't. Right?
Yeah, that's going to be the one that comes out on HBO.
It's going to have to be. Yeah. 505-246-0610, 888-922-06. It's just bonkers, right? All right, there's some hirings going on, and the Raiders have their head coach. Raider fan, how you feeling about that? Your owner listened to his players. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal, your home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
Telling it like it is.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com.
Go get one of those guys then and go for it. Like, it doesn't have to be a number 1 pick in the first round. We've seen that. It's evident by this postseason. There's a number 1 pick, a number 10 pick, a number 32 pick, and a number 200 whatever Brock Purdy was. So that's always the other option. Instead of, if you don't want to over what some people might consider, overpaying for just a slightly above league average quarterback in some people's minds, in a Baker Mayfield or Derek Carr, you name it, one of those guys.
Well, I think that's
what happens if you can get one of those quarterbacks.
I think that's where people lose their mind. What is overpaying for a quarterback? When you hear that Daniel Jones is making $40 million a year, people lose their minds. Mm-hmm. Right? You're going to give Baker $35 million a year. I mean, but that's market value for a quarterback, and that's low market value for a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Because Deshaun Watson's guaranteed $50 a year. Right? Is he making 40-something this year? It's going to go up to like 60-something, right? I mean, that's what quarterbacks are making now. Yeah. What's Aaron Rodgers? He's north of 50, right? He played 4 snaps this year.
Aaron Rodgers has got an annual average value of 37.
Okay, is that that's all? But yeah, you hear that number, you lose your mind, but that's market value. All right, Raiders went with Antonio Pierce. Mark Davis is their owner, general manager. I guess he's not general manager, he's their owner. And he said, last time I didn't go with the players and I screwed it up, and so I listened to the players this time, and they were threatening to leave. Basically, I paraphrase that. I'm going to tell you, and I don't know, and revisit this next year, and somebody on the text line will tell me I'm wrong. This feels like the right move to me. Where are you guys on the Raiders hire?
It's solid. It's always one of those things where can we really say someone made a bad coaching hire?
Yeah, they said it when Dan Campbell got hired. Did I hear that a lot?
Yeah, but that doesn't. That is one where that is absolutely talk to me in a year or two. Same thing happened with Nick Sirianni.
He blew the press conference too, right? It was horrible. Yeah,
coaching the Super Bowl.
Now they want to fire him again. Yeah. Yep. I like it. Look, there's something to be said about culture, proving yourself, stepping in. Leadership, when you step into those situations, and this is why it bothered me so much the way they handled Derek Carr in Las Vegas. Now, if you want to tell me they're better off at quarterback with Aiden O'Connell or whatever they're going to get next year, fine, whatever. There's something about proving it and not talking about it. Dudes come in all the time to, we're gonna be accountable, and we're gonna be hard nosed, and we're gonna. Okay, show me. What do you do when things are tough? What did Derek Carr do? What did Nick Bisaccia do? I mean, that was a bizarre, crazy, nutso situation, right? They loved Gruden, and the emails came out. Gruden got fired or walked away or whatever, and Derek Carr held the team together, and then they let Derek Carr go, told him not to show up to work for the last 3 weeks. That was horrible. Nick Bisaccia led that team, and they played better, and everybody wanted him, and they sent him off. So this year, they went the other way, and they figured it out. We'll see if it works, because nothing's worked for that franchise in quite some time, by the way. When was the last time the Raiders won? I mean, it's been a minute now, right?
Rich Gannon?
It's been a long time since they've been winning. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, this came up again yesterday. The fumbling through the end zone touchback thing. And I've told you for years, I don't have a problem with it. That's the rule. Just don't do it. People lose their mind. Well, that's too big of a penalty. I don't believe it to be. It happened yesterday again in the Chiefs game. It kept the Bills in it. Mecole Hardman fumbled at the 1 yard line. Ball rolled through the end zone. It's a touchback. The other team gets the ball. I don't have a problem with it. I think I like the rule, to be honest with you. I'm one of the few who like the rule. And I ask you all the time when people complain about it, well, then what should it be? You shouldn't just get the ball back at the one. He should. What? Give me an alternative. I like the rule. I think it's risk reward, and I like it. I don't think it should be changed. Where are you guys on this rule? Because I know some people just freaking hate it.
I'm with you on it. Especially when you are around the goal line and all you have to do is like a centimeter of the football.
Yeah.
And you can score a touchdown.
Yep.
Just hold on to it for a little bit longer. Do your job. It penalizes the team. Well, yeah, you lost the football at a certain area of play. Other parts of the field, it is different. There's different rules for different parts of the field. I don't know why that's so hard for people to wrap their head around. Like, oh, it's such a penalty. Yeah, don't fumble the football. Don't reach it out there where a team could knock it out of your hands or make a bad play around the goal line. Because I've heard some people say, reset to the 25 and then start over, but I am fine with the rule.
I mean, what, give them first down?
Yeah.
Reward them for that? No. Now, would it just be same down? Like, so if it was a second down fumble and it would be second down and go up the 25? I see your face, so I know you're on the other side of this.
Oh, no, I love the rule.
Okay.
I think it rewards hard play, and it penalizes sloppy play. I think it's great. And it allows a team that's got their back against the wall to turn things around quickly. So,
like happened yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. It kept them in the game. So
it absolutely kept them in the game.
Everyone knows the rule. You got to hold on to the ball.
That fumble kind of got Sean McDermott out of a lot of conversation about the fake punt. Because that was the drive immediately after they went for, and what a poorly executed, poorly designed fake punt. Let's just snap it to the up guy and run everybody left. And I guess Kansas City only had 10 dudes on the field and they stuffed it. But it got Sean McDermott. Nobody's having a conversation. Well, I mean, because if they score there, they put the game away. And everybody's, well, why did Sean McDermott go with a fake punt right there? You guys, I'm with you. So there, I listen to this. It's too penal. I don't know, man. You know what's too penal? A defensive holding on 3rd and 25, a 5-yard penalty that's an automatic first down. To me, that's too penal. If we want to go through the rule books, and tell, does the punishment fit the crime? Tell me on a 3rd and 20, guy drops back and there's defensive holding because there's contact 6 yards past the line of scrimmage instead of 5, but that 5 yards automatic first down. That's too penal. To me. You think I'm wrong on that? Defensive holding, 5 or illegal contact 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, automatic first down. You're good with that?
I'm okay with that.
Why? Why is that an automatic first down?
I mean, defensive holding 5 yards down the field is almost pass interference. So holding is holding when you're talking about receivers. So
5 yards on defense is an automatic. I mean,
I'm okay with the automatic first down. That's what I'm saying.
I think there's too many automatic first downs. I think it swings. All right, if you're there.
That's actually an interesting one.
What's that?
Just a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the ball.
5 yards and an automatic first down. It's 5 yards and an automatic first down.
That's what I'm saying. That would be an interesting conversation, taking away the automatic.
Yes.
Especially with everything so already slanted in favor of offenses.
That's one that blows my mind. All right, you can get in on all this stuff. Lobos at San Jose State on Wednesday. Another road test coming up. Boy, they sure did pass the last one. We're going to get into that a little bit. What Richard Pitino had to say there, now ranked in the top 25 in the net rankings. And you're ringing the phones at 505-246-0610. Fellas, how you feeling? Feeling good? Or are you less energetic than you used to be? A little lethargic, fatigued, confidence not what it once was? Then turn the page and get a hold of New Male Medical Center. At New Male, they specialize in men's health. They offer cutting-edge treatments for low testosterone, fatigue, being sluggish, erectile dysfunction. Their expert team is dedicated to helping you regain that spark and vitality, making you feel better. So imagine feeling energetic and confident again, at your best. Whether it's reigniting that passion, restoring your youthful vigor, even tackling hair loss, New Male's personalized treatments are designed just for you. So don't let another day go by feeling less than your best. Join thousands of men who have transformed their lives with New Male. It's confidential, it's comprehensive, and it's about you. Ready to discover the new you or regain the old you? NewMaleMedical.com. That's NewMaleMedical.com, or visit them on the phone at 505-652-1688 to schedule your private consultation today. 505-652-1688. New Male Medical Center. Feel young, feel energized, feel new.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed. destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Cross-Camara here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Adventure is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We spent hours and hours and hours talking about these guys, and we've spent none today, and I love it. There, I don't believe, was a controversial officiating call in all four games that we're sitting here complaining about, is there? They maybe missed the back or the forward lateral from Josh Allen in the first, but that's on Kansas City to throw a flag on that. It certainly looked like a backwards pass to the live eye, right? And that would have been on Andy Reid and the staff to challenge it. Was there a bad call? Is there something that the official, because we love to beat the hell out of them? I say we, right? Mm-hmm. But they take a lot of heat every single Sunday. Dare I say we had 4 cleanly officiated games?
You can say it.
I mean, can we give them a little credit? Well, but Jeff, if they were full-time, they'd have been better. I'm just saying, how many hours have we spent talking about officiating? They did a pretty nice job.
They did. You heard them very clearly announce anytime they had a tackle eligible. They had all their bases covered.
All I'm telling you is we're not sitting here complaining about a call that swung a game.
And that's nice. It is nice. And I heard them talking about that Josh Allen. I thought it was a legal pass.
We all looked at it. It looked like a lateral when we saw it. We all did.
It looked pretty cool is what it did, honestly.
It looked really cool. And then they slow it down, frame. Oh, yeah, okay, maybe it's not. All right, 505-246-0610. Good morning, Rudy. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi.
Good morning. That was quite a weekend if you're a Michigander or you had any connection to Michigan. Funny story, when I was in law school last year, the Lions started 4-0, so they started playing the Queen song, Another One Bites the Dust, Another One Bites the Dust. Then they proceeded to lose their next 10 games in a row. So this morning, DJ changed the song to Another One Kicks Our Butts, Another One Kicks Our Butts. And so for long-suffering Detroit Lions fan, that was medicine yesterday. Saw Bob Seger there, saw Jeff Daniels. Those two guys have been cheerleaders for Michigan for a while, so I'm really down with that. And I hope they go all the way, but
now
we'll see.
Now beat the Niners, now go beat the Niners.
Yeah, that's a tall order, and especially with your starting center banged up and your starting left guard. But if anybody can do it, nobody's more blue-collar than Dan Campbell. And I think that's what could carry this team. They just seem like they have a real want-to attitude. And his locker room speech, I thought, was pretty cool.
He's good, man. He's
Yeah.
as good as there is. Yep. All right.
And now on to the Lobos. No matter what, that's a hard place to win. I call it the Clune Tomb. And I remember a number 12 ranked UNM team go up there and lose. And the problem with Air Force is it's hard to beat them by 18 to 20 points because they play that slowdown and they try to keep the game close, and they're as scrappy as it gets. So I was really satisfied with the effort of the team, and now they got another hurdle before next Sunday, which I don't want to look forward because I know we got to play, 8 o'clock on Wednesday night? Man, that's going to be tough on me. I'm going to have no-dos for that one, but I think if they can get by San Jose State, and I think they can, I don't know what San Jose State has. I've only watched a snippet of them, but maybe you guys can break that down later on Kicking It with Kenny, because I'm sure he's scouted San Jose a little bit, and he'll have some thoughts on that. And by the way, I'm really enjoying that. That's first-class stuff you're doing.
Good. All right, Rudy. No, we'll talk to you during the week. Appreciate you. Thanks. And they got
Have a great
big one on Wednesday. And Kenny Thomas will be here tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We'll kick it with Kenny. We'll talk about the Air Force game, look ahead to San Jose State. And then Nevada comes in on Sunday. JJ, always electric when Steve Alford, Craig Neal come back. I don't know if it gets less electric as time goes on. I don't know that it will. I think the place is going to be buzzing. And especially if the Lobos win on Wednesday, they're going to be a top 25, certainly maybe a top 20 ranked net team. And we'll see. Rankings come out. Do you expect Lobos to be ranked today when the polls come out today, the AP poll? Coaches poll?
Yes.
You don't sound very confident in that.
A lot of it is just how teams fared in that 20, 25 range.
Right. And there were
I should have looked into it deeper. I didn't.
Yeah, fair enough. And
because the Lobos could deserve to be ranked, but then those teams, if no one lost, and then they might not get up there. So that's how it works.
One of the things on the Lobos, and we would talk so much about the guards and how terrific their guards are, and there's no down on the guards, right? I mean, Dent is terrific. House has been fantastic. Mashburn's been good, and I think he's finding his touch. This is what's been amazing about this is JT Toppin. And you found Richard Pitino was on the show. What was it, last Thursday, Friday, whenever it was? And we talked to him about his freshman. And I said every team in the land is recruiting the portal. And it almost feels, JJ, that the recruitment of freshmen has become a lost art, right? And he's found 2 freshmen who are contributing on a veteran team in True Washington and JT Toppin. And Toppin, and we talked about this earlier, and Richard's going to talk about it, not only one of the best freshmen in the league, but
really good player, and I mean, we started getting it to him. I think our guys understood through the flow of the game, like throw the ball down to him, make them stop him. We felt like we had an advantage on the interior. I even thought Mustafa did some great things rebounding the ball in the second half. So credit to our guys for finding him. The movement was really, really good. The extra passes were really good, and I thought we played really well offensively together.
JT Toppin is I mean, as of now, and again, you're 5 games in? 6, whatever it is? He's first team all league, isn't he?
Yeah, first team all conference player so far.
I mean, look, Jaden Ledee's been getting all the love for player of the year. I don't know if I'm ready to say player of the year yet. But I'll tell you something. If he continues at this pace, are we not having that conversation at some point?
We are having that conversation.
He has been, I mean, beyond what I think anybody thought he could be.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
And this is me being a total novice. What is the difference between the net rankings and the coaches' rankings?
So the net rankings are completely computer-based, right? So it's formulatic. Formulatic, is that a word?
It's a formula, a computer formula. So this is actually a really good thing to explain because people are going to get hyped on if the Lobos are ranked.
That's
that
right.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
What the ranking does is get you on the bottom line and get you in all the score, right? Everybody sees your score. That's the beauty of being ranked in the AP and the coaches poll.
And if you beat a ranked team, then
You storm
It's the
court,
headlines.
then you storm the court and beat the hell out of Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. But a ranking, that's just subjective. It's what we do in Red Zone. This is what I think. Like net rankings, it's a formula of strength of schedule, who you've played, who they've played, where you beat them, how much you beat them by, to calculate like a strength of said team.
So it's strength of schedule. It's quad 1, quad 2, quad 3, quad 4. Everything's weighted differently. And quad 1 is what I think top 25 or top 50. Top 50,
yeah.
I believe.
It can be. It's like top 25 at home, top 50 on the road type of stuff.
Right. And so it's all formula. Where'd you win? How much did you win by? To whom did you lose? Strength of schedule. Who'd you play? Why San Diego State 20th and New Mexico's 24th? New Mexico beat San Diego State. Well, San Diego State played Washington and Stanford and Gonzaga and Grand Canyon, who's really highly ranked in the net, and that, so that's why the computers love them.
So then, from what you're saying, is there more value then in the net ranking?
And when they sit in the room, and this is a great question for you to ask Jerry Palm on, because on Thursday when Jerry from CBS Sports with us, because Jerry sat in on these seminars on how the committee does this, but they weight the net rankings. I don't even think they look.
No,
at the AP rankings.
The AP and coaches poll rankings mean nothing.
Yeah,
it's just fodder. It's
media fluff.
Yeah,
it absolutely is. It's just
the net rankings are stuff that actually would go on a sheet.
Yeah.
Where you say, hey, this is team X. We're talking about if
when they do blind resumes.
Yeah,
right?
team Y. Oh, net ranking 24. Oh, quad 1 and 2. They were 10-1 in those games. Oh, they have 2 quad 4 losses. Like those are metrics that they use versus the poll is just
here. Have
top
my
25.
SID fill out my ballot.
Pretty much.
That is very interesting. That's news to me and really valuable. So I appreciate you.
Yeah. So that and Ken Palm are both metric based, formula based.
You say Ken Palm. What exactly is that?
So Ken Pomeroy is this dude.
Ken Pomeroy put together a very good set of metrics that coaches look at, teams look at, same way, just kind of ranking teams.
A little bit different formula.
A little different formula, but it's one that, when you have 300 of these, you do need
300
plus Division I basketball teams. You do need to add in a little computer metrics just to try to figure out how to rank all these teams.
362 to be exact. Yeah.
Somehow, some way. So they're little pieces to the overall puzzle that are used at the end of the year by the selection committee when they're trying to compare. As UNLV out of Mountain West Conference versus Virginia Tech.
And they usually they won't count wins over Northern New Mexico or Eastern, that kind of stuff. So like New Mexico State is 263, and they're 3-1 in their league, by the way. But their record isn't 9-10 as it is, or 8-10. According to the metrics, it's only 5-10. By the way, the Aggies won again on Saturday. They're 3-1 in their league. They're 3-1 in Conference USA. What if they go on? Where's Conference USA's tournament? Do you know? Probably Dallas. It's their first year in that league. What? I'm just saying, what if?
Yeah, it would be something for Hooten and company to do that. I do think it's a good conversation to have because you can just assume when we say net rankings or we say Ken Palm,
yeah,
you know what you're talking about. But the top 25 is great for the headlines. It means nothing for
and DC. I'm glad you asked the question because I think there's probably JJ and I. We live in this world. And I think this fan base lives in that world, but not everybody gets it and gets the difference. And so why are people so fired up that the Lobos are top 25 in the net this morning? Because that's the metric remember the term RPI? Okay, that one's kind of gone by the wayside. It was a metric that was somewhat similar, but now has become antiquated, that isn't used anymore. And it's been replaced by the net and the Ken Palm.
It's because you can put a lot more variables into these rankings.
No, it's just more scientific than objective, right? It's zero eye test, to be honest with you. I almost said it's less, but it's zero eye test and 100% data. Now, you can say, do whatever, man. My eyes know more than the data. Sometimes they do, sometimes they do not.
But that's what you get when you get to the selection committee is they're supposed to watch games, but you can only watch so many games.
Yeah.
It's the reality of it. So that's why you have these metrics to go along with hopefully viewing some of these games when we ask that selection committee to put together an NCAA tournament bracket.
All right, we'll wrap it up for you when we get back. Everything you got to know as you go through your Monday, what's happened this morning, and the rest of your correspondence. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and DC on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part,
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Final four in the National Football League or Conference Championship weekend coming up as it's referred to. Chiefs beat the Bills last night 27-24. Kicker for Buffalo. Wide right. It went wide right. Buffalo's kicker. It's wide right. Thank you, Kevin Harlan. 27-24. They will play the Ravens, who were 34-10 victors over the Texans. The Niners will host the Lions. First time since 1991. Detroit is in the conference championship game, so those will be next week, and you'll hear them right here on the Sports Animal. People are going to be talking about your Lobos. Lobos, as of this morning, are 24 in the net ranking. Top 25. They are the second highest ranked Mountain West team in the net rankings. San Diego State 20, New Mexico 24, Colorado State 27, Utah State 28. That's four in the top 12:30. The AP poll and the coaches poll will come out probably here in about 10 minutes, and we'll see if the Lobos are ranked there as well. I wouldn't be surprised if who's player of the week in this league, JJ? The Boone brothers have been playing really well. Isaiah Stevens hit some big shots for Colorado State.
UNLV, that game against Colorado State Friday night,
where
in Moby,
Colorado State came back at the end. They were trailing the whole night, and then Isaiah Stevens hit some big shots and won it. But it was almost Boone again. Outgo the lights.
Yeah, I think UNLV is better than Nevada.
I agree with that. Nevada lost at Wyoming, and has fallen to what did I tell you? 55 in the net ranking. So that's what people are going to be talking about. Here's another one that people are going to be talking about, and at the end of the show, we haven't got here yet. For the first time since 1991, an amateur won on the PGA Tour. The last amateur to win on the PGA Tour was Phil Mickelson. Nick Dunlap, plays at Alabama, won the American Express at La Quinta. First time since Phil Mickelson in 91. He was 400 to 1. Last week, Grayson Murray won the Sony Open. He was 350 to 1, by the way. 20 years old. He's the youngest amateur to win a PGA event in the history of the PGA. And it was crazy how he did it, dude. He put a couple in the water, super nervy on 18, hit it way right to avoid the water on the left, got a good roll on his second shot, and then had a hit about a 6-foot putt. Just nervy to win it. So people will be talking about that as well. Fred, you want to talk about the Lobos? Good morning, Fred.
Hey, guys. Hey, I wanted to talk more about the women and the men. I was proud of the men because they did exactly what they had to do. They killed the Air Force, and so I was really proud of them. But I want to talk about the women because I know JJ was right there. I felt like we kind of got screwed at the very end, and I don't know how JJ felt, but on a couple of calls, one was where Cummers got that rebound, got hit in the face really hard, and they called the foul on us. And then the biggest mistake was at half court when Ogman and this other girl, they were fighting for the ball, and the ball went out of bounds. And the announcers that were doing the game on TV, they were saying, oh, it was off on us. And then they showed the replay and said, oh, gosh, it was off that girl's left leg. It's pretty obvious. And then they changed. You remember that, JJ?
Yes, I do.
And that definitely was off that girl's left leg, and we kind of got screwed. But I mean, we won the game. I'm really proud that we won the game. But there was a few calls in that game. There were terrible calls, but I was so proud to finally beat UNLV, and then to beat Wyoming when we were behind too. So it was 2 big wins for the ladies, and I know they don't get a lot of props. So anyway, it was good. Just want to mention that. So I'll see you guys.
Thanks, Fred. That was a big one. And I asked you earlier, what's cooler than a cucumber? A V-cumber. I know, I like it. I like it more than y'all like it. It's okay. You don't have to like it. Okay.
It was great, man. V is just a great person overall. Local kid, 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year. Career highs in rebounding this year. Kind of been inconsistent with the shooting, but she's had her moments. At 8 threes against Montana State. That was her career high, and then comes out 6 of 11 from 3, game winner at UNLV. Just awesome.
And the game winner, if you haven't seen it, find it. It was a bomb.
Yeah.
It was a 29-foot, way out past the NBA three-point line. Just a bomb that VNA Cumber hit to win that game and beat the 23rd ranked team, 24th ranked team in America. Omar hit us with an email. It says, quote, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose, end quote. I wish they could all lose, Jeffy Lube. Omar watched the greatest American hero ring runs yesterday because the NFL's most outstanding organization is eliminated. My season is over. Sorry, Cowboy. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? James said the Fly Girls are well, careful. Jeff, this week gives the Lobo women the chance to put a lot of pressure on UNLV going into the next week's Wise Pies rematch. Fresno State's one of the worst in the league, therefore in the country. And it doesn't matter if Coach Ches, Flanagan, or Bradbury, the Lady Lobos have had tremendous success against Air Force. Big week, big opportunities.
You definitely like to take advantage of the schedule ahead, but the one thing, the way that this UNM women's team plays, They're going to give themselves a chance, but then they're also going to play some close games you don't expect because they can go ice cold.
Lobo Hobo's in on the women. Jeff, I was watching that game with the UNLV fans. Him and a bunch of UNLV fans hanging around the computer. And they felt going in, this was the year they could go into state tournament better than a 15 seed. Thanks for coming. Maybe they could take their home uniforms. Saturday changed all that. Lady Rebels now need to win 3 at the Thomas and Mack Center in March, like everybody else in the league, just to get into the show. Lady Lobos were 250 RPI in the quad 5 loss. Does RPI matter? Where were the ladies in the net? Do you know? Any idea?
Not good.
Not good. So do you agree with him? Will that one loss keep them out of potential, UNLV, out of potential at large for this league?
No. They're 39th in net rankings.
They are.
On the women's side.
All right. So they've got some good wins.
They won at Oklahoma, beat Arizona.
Yeah.
Have 2 losses on the season. They're still in pretty good position to get an at-large bid.
All right, what am I watching today? I got college hoops tonight. We're going to watch injuries. Debo Samuel's considered 50-50 to play next week against the Lions. I'm going to tell you, if he's 50-50 on Monday, to me that means he's 75% he's going to play. And that,
I agree with that.
I mean, I can't see him sitting this one out. Didn't hit you with this. Did you watch the end of Iowa women? Caitlin Clark, best women's player in the country. They get beat by Indiana, 100-92. Indiana fan storms the court. There's a video on social media, and Clark's running off the floor and gets run over by some fan. She goes to the ground, gets surrounded by personnel. She had the wind knocked out of her. Kind of scary, she said. I mean, you know how I feel about court storms anyway. But this one was kind of crazy, wasn't it?
It was Ohio State that beat them.
Or was it Ohio State? I'm sorry, I thought it was in. Yeah, you're right. It was Ohio State.
And honestly, when you watch it, it was just 2 people that weren't paying attention.
Totally. They're both
just ran into each other.
She spun, dude. She did like 2,
Man,
3,
dude,
6.
Caitlin Clark, if you don't know, she is the Jalen House of women's basketball on social media. Because people were saying that was a flop of all flops from Caitlin Clark.
Because she planned that?
Yeah.
Yeah, she must have planned getting run over by somebody. Yeah, the people who hate Caitlin Clark sure hate Caitlin Clark.
Yes, they do.
Kind of crazy. There's a whole lot more going on there than just that, too. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards. After that, 2 Men On comes your way at 4. We're going to be back tomorrow morning. Award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. If you're down with that, we'll be here to enjoy it with you. Adrian looks great. Happy Monday. DC? Phenomenal work. Big day for you, huh?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter.